again with my friends, and I'm with the Renewable Wisdom Trails Cosmology and Library, and the conversation that was going on here off camera was about the attacks a person goes through when you make a commitment to a transformational journey, or to stay on a transformational process that has guidelines that you can sway back and forth on the guidelines, but basically you got to stay on the trail. Now, we use the word trail in our bundle. Somebody else may call it something else, but to us it's a trail through the woods. And it's also, that's a metaphor, but it also works. A trail is the main thing that goes through woods, and there's paths that go off to the sides that you can go and explore, but you better get back to the main trail, otherwise you're never going to get out of the woods. That's kind of the way the metaphor works. You know, I went through a lot of shit in my years and have been attacked. I've lost a son to drinking. I've lost a family twice. I've had to shut down a mystery school, and I walk away from many groups. And I'm sure there's a part of me that likes being controversial like that, and there's a part of me that doesn't. And I've been attacked psychically. Psychically, what does that mean? It means people that don't want to be accountable for what they're thinking about me. So they tell me niceties, but in the background they're talking smack about me. And they won't talk smack to my face. I'm still communicating with their spirit, but it feels like an attack. So I've had to deal with that my whole life. Amora Kuan Yin had a lot of tools for that she would use visualization and cleansing and purifying meditations to keep cleansing and cleansing and cleansing the attacks. But the bottom line is the attacks will keep coming back if you don't find what they're getting in on. What is it that's inside you that still radiates out the need for the attacks? Now, I didn't make that up. I got that from Beaver, the medicine or spiritual leader over in the Micmac tribe in Lodi, California, because I was being attacked constantly. And I was having these dreams where I didn't even dare go to sleep for months. And I'm not going to give all the information here because there's a lot of people that would be in jeopardy if I did. But I could not go to sleep at night, and then I'd have to get up in the morning and I'd have to go manage the farm. And I was in the middle of a divorce, and it was rough. And I went to him, and he said to me, he says, you know, if they're not done, if it hasn't processed out what they're coming in on, and you haven't acknowledged what they're coming in on, it'll keep coming back. And the best thing you can do is get in that lodge and keep praying for clarity. Well, I eventually did get it, and it went away. And that's happened in a number of different situations for me. If I got off the trail on my transformation a little bit too far, I became more vulnerable. If I got back on the trail and stayed on it and stayed my commitment that way, I was okay. Same thing happened with some bigger cases. If I stayed on the journey of doing a healing for somebody, I wouldn't be vulnerable to their brothers and sisters and their colleagues' opinions. That was a big one. Another rule that we've used with people is if we do a healing ceremony or session with them, we ask them to keep it to themselves for 7 days. Not to talk about anything that happened in the session for 7 days. The science behind that was the Earth, if it puts 7 rotations for 7 24-hour day periods, it puts like this invisible seal around your aura and inside your energy field. That no matter what anybody else's judgment is on what you experience cannot penetrate that seal. So what you experience is yours. And it has an automatic repulsion to any judgments. And you will be amazed at how hard that is to do for people, to keep it to themselves for 7 days before they share with their main friends or partner. But it's a kind of a guideline that was adopted years ago, and it really works well. Because usually after the 7 days, they're on to something else and it doesn't matter. But it becomes like this sign that's in their energy field. Do not trespass for another 4 days, you know. But the bullies in that invisible world, they want to feed. They need something to feed on. They need something to keep busy. They need drama. They need something. So they won't last very long. Like codependents, they won't last very long. If there's nothing to feed them, they're going to go somewhere else because they got to get fed. So it's just the way it works. Protection during the transformational journey is a very big issue. You don't want to underestimate the dark side of that. And dark side, I don't mean evil. I mean unconscious. The stuff that people will do, that they're unconscious that they're even doing it. They do it without thinking about any consequences. Anyway, I've been attacked a lot, and I don't like it. It hurts. And yet, it motivates me at the same time because it tells me how bad things really are underneath the surface. That people would be doing that, because people are generally good. I think generally they do not want to destroy things unless they're told to or leveraged into it. But there's a lot of that around. Anyway, okay, must be something to it.